everyone, I am Malaceo. Welcome to my channel, and today I am going to be talking about another one of my days in Tokyo, aka Japan, for my 3-month sabbatical. So I was in Meiji Jingu, so that it's a temple. It's right above Harajuku. So it's like a really beautiful park area. It was free or whatever to go there. But yeah, so I felt like it was a really nice place to go because this is like a little bit after it rained, so it felt like very misty, whimsical, like everything felt a little bit more green, a little bit more luscious, and there wasn't that many people there because, you know, it just got done raining not too long ago. So I thought it was like a really, really cool place to go for the most part because it was just so many buildings, and this was another learning experience that I ended up that I ended up going through. And you know, I am a city person. I like the city, but with Tokyo, I'm like, there's too much. There is such a thing for me as too much city, like just buildings after buildings after buildings, and not necessarily being around a bunch of nature like rivers, trees, mountains, or having like a big, you know, at least a big piece of landscape compared to Da Nang and being at a beach city. And then you look north and you see these like huge like mountains and clouds rolling through the mountains, and you see the beach and stuff. So I was exposed to a lot of nature, even like where I lived at in Georgia, and exposed to a lot of nature. I didn't necessarily think about it or like realize it until I was in Tokyo for like the first, you know, week, 2 weeks or so. So being able to sort of like walk around and see like the very like traditional Japanese interior design, in architecture, and just seeing how everything sort of like encapsulates, if you will. But one thing, like I said, that I've noticed is just like how different certain things are, far as what temple, and then doing research and figuring out like when the temples were made, at what period the temples were made, and the overall like history behind each of them, which I find like very fascinating. And it's just certain little pieces where they have like the drainage, as you can see, and how with the drainage it makes like these, it's not like a wind chime, but they make like these really nice like trickling sounds when the water is like filtering through them. And I do love a good touch of like brass, gold, all of the aesthetics. So this vibe was like my vibe. And it's funny how you sort of change over a period of time of like, you can have appreciation for something, you know, but then you're like, this is beautiful. This is my vibe here. This is like, it resonates with you like spiritually and emotionally. Like it brings a calmness. Like I'm still trying to keep it open because it's just like I was overwhelmed by being around like so many buildings and concrete and all this other stuff, and just the lifestyle of just like being in Tokyo, like rush. There's not really places for you to sit down. You always gotta be going somewhere. So it's also dealing with that, but that's why I'm trying to like, you know, put it in little categories of like, or is it just the feel and me being around nature and just the architecture and how it sort of like, you know, meshes together essentially. Like there is space and appreciation for the architecture, but it's also, you know, made by like nearby, you know, materials and stuff like that. So yeah, I just feel like I was overwhelmed, but I'm still like having an overall appreciation for not just the more muted tones and more exposed woods and stuff like that, as my personal taste, but I am coming a little bit more closer to, how should I say it? More like, I would say more decoration, like more decoration that enhances, like you can see like with the ceilings and how the supports are, you know, highlighted a little bit with like the white paint, but it's also this intricate detail that adds a bunch of layers and is not very contemporary and is not very minimalistic. It adds like all these different little layers to it that grabs your attention and makes you look up, which I know that's intentional, to make you look up towards the skies and the heavens and stuff like that, but it's also, you know, doubles as support and stuff like that. But that was just like certain things that I'm just like, you know, when you, like I said, when you're traveling and stuff and you learn stuff, and it's also keeping tabs of like, do I like this now? Do I like that now? Like, why do I like this now? Why do I not like, do it means that I don't like something else now? Like, how would, you know, my newfound aesthetic match my old aesthetic, essentially, you know? So I think those things are very important to realize. And I mean, I have the luxury now to like think about it and to not just think about it, but like develop the thoughts and what the look would be in my head. So I did have a good amount of time to sort of go around the rest of because it's like a whole entire park area. And even this day, I believe I walked close to 12 miles this day, because I came from Shinjuku, walked through this entire park, and I got out at Harajuku. So I even walked there. Hello. So this is actually me walking through one of the gardens. So you've seen that they have like the shrines and things here, and for the most part it's more of a relaxed day. But these crows, they're big, really big, bigger than I thought. Yeah, and these are like the barrels and stuff like that of, I believe it's the sake. Super cool and intricate, like the branding, like the traditional way of like, you know, like branding and stuff like that. That was super cool. Like, I'd never seen it in person, and I never really knew what it was until, you know, I got there. And it was like this really nice couple that offered to take the picture for me because I was by myself and I was trying to do a selfie. So, you know, it's the little things, and, you know, we all help each other, you know, as mankind, you know, ain't nothing too crazy. But other than that, it was like a really simple day. All I did was pretty much eat like the little 7-Eleven snacks to like keep my budget pretty low. And pretty much the budget for this day was maybe, including the place that I stayed at, it was around, I believe, like $25, because I spent for that night to stay there like $15, and all the other stuff was like the little jelly packs, water, and food and snacks from 7-Eleven. So it was like a $25, maybe $30 day. And I literally spent all day walking. So there's that. So I'm Malaceo. That's the end of my video, but I'm Malaceo. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to do this once a week. It show like a vlog every week of like, you know, what I do. And I'll pretty much encapsulate, you know, what I do in a day, or what I do in a week, what I do in a month, all of those things, so you guys can get an inside of the new life that I pretty much created for myself in the last, which is now 6 months of me being a slow traveler / expat. All right, thank you. Bye.